AYRx blended with the aerial yoga play poses and the suspended somatics therapy, as well as some of the sacred geometrics. So again, we're working on our alignment, we're finding our pillar, we're working with our body of light, and then we're tapping into our being, feeling our body, feeling our frequency, tapping into that life force energy that flows all around us. I'm enjoying the standing poses, so I'd like to continue with that a little bit more and share some variations within the sequences, and we'll go back and forth between the lower and upper bodies because I want to create a balance and a communication between our hips and our head and shoulders. Usually it's one or the other. I have found that there's a disconnect that happens, particularly from the solar plexus to the heart. So we want to get our lower chakras and our upper chakras all working together, and we can do this through breathing, through working with the rhythm waves, the Kundalini energy activations, as well as going back and forth so that our arms are working the same time as our legs. So let's try that with those quad stretches we just did and doing another variation from standing poses. So sometimes it's difficult to get the foot up, and we can, I have some tricks. I have so many different ways that we can do this, but let's just try it, okay? So from a standing position, we're gonna go back into our push-ups that we started with, right? And so from our push-ups, we'll just do 5 to warm up the body. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed a little hydration and noticed the difference. Checking out your new hips, your new body. Like as you practice, you'll notice that it gets easier and easier, and the body just has more and more energy, as well as feeling relaxed. So from our push-up position, we're gonna transition onto the shoulders for like a backpack. So we want these in a comfortable, the nape between the chest and the shoulders. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lean forward for a second. And so I'm just gonna come into a tabletop or like a half forward fold and just rock around for a second. Like I said, this could be very challenging for people to get their foot in. So if it is challenging, I'm gonna give you some variations of what we can do to come in and out. And yeah, there's always a way. So it's always good to ask me like, oh, I'm having trouble with this or that, or what do I do for this injury or that? And I can cater to those specific needs. So please do leave it in the comments, and I will always do a follow-up Q&A and answer those, or send me your email and I'll also give you a personalized response. I'm really good about responding. Not always in a timely fashion, but within a week I can usually figure it out. And sometimes my assistants will also be in contact and answer for me if the information's on my website or if we can access that for you right away. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the right leg and lifting up. And once you lift up, you're gonna kick back and then get your foot in there. So if everybody's like, wait, what? So notice I didn't move my upper body at all. So we keep our pillar, we keep our horizontal alignment. I'm gonna basically kick my leg up. I'm gonna figure out where the swing is in space, bend my knee and get the top of my foot in there. So just pretend like that happened. If it didn't, then I'll show you a nice variation that I do so that everybody can do this with me. But this is one of the easiest ways that I do this particular stretch. And then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and push up into a push-up position and pull my knee in. Notice that the knee is gonna wanna flare out to the side, but keep your alignment. And now notice that we can work full warrior 3. You know, we can come into some of those really strong poses. I'm gonna just let the knee flare out so you can see that and be like, oop, pull it in, and then extend again. A little bit of a more intermediate practice. Strong arms, strong legs, bring it back in, work the entire spine together, pivoting at the hip flexor. Very good. And then come on up. So here, this could be really intense in the quad stretch, so I can reach up and grab for the top of the leg loops and just do knees bent, or knee bent, standing legs stay straight, and elbows bent. And I can do a variation of that, That's super, well, I think it's easier, let's just put it that way. Or another variation, let's go ahead and try it, is we're going to hold on to the handholds with a wrist wrap, and then we can float. And this is called one of the black swan poses. This obviously would be going in the more advanced position from the intermediate, then the more beginner or basic version with holding on to the top of the leg loops. So where's your body today? Are you happy here? Does this feel like enough where you can bend both knees, bend both elbows, or keep the leg straight and just do like a little bit? See where you want to go from here today. There's so many different variations, but notice when we work the arms and the legs together, it's a very different experience. Maybe this is as far as you go, and just keep the elbows bent. If you straighten out, then you can see it's very dynamic, and that leads into learning how to do our superfly position, which is one of our favorite acrobatic positions. Release the foot. You can just turn the toes up towards the sky. And then, just in case you're like, well, that didn't happen. My foot did not actually go in the swing. It was too high, it was too far. You can bring the swing down, all those things. But I'm just going to show you a different way that I do the standing poses now. Obviously, teaching this for 20 years, we've had to really adapt. We have to adapt to our age. Maybe we could do this in our 20s, but now if we're in our 50s and 60s, it's like, yeah, no, I just don't have that kind of dynamic strength, or I'm not as limber. So we're just going to get into the swing as if it is a swing, like at the playground. So we're going to push it down, and then we're going to sit in there. Again, you can always lower it if it feels too high, but you can come up onto your tippy toes, and you can swing like this. So I love all these different variations. So from here, I can usually like hold on to the swing, hold on to the leg loops. I can actually sink forward and back and work that fascia. I'm working the IT bands and the hamstrings together. I can pull myself up and down. And then from here, you can go ahead and basically come into the knees, and then you can straighten the legs. You can get just one foot in there, and then you can turn it around, right? So you can get into the same position in different ways. Now, obviously, we're gonna turn it around so we're facing one another. So I'm gonna start away, so that way we can go to second side. So see if you can get the right foot. We're gonna all do the same side together. I'm going to go ahead and lean back. I'm going to bend the knees. I'm going to keep just one leg in there. You can push it down to the ankle and then turn it around. So we wind up, et voila, facing the front. Okay, cool. So once we're here, then you can see we can do that same position where we're leaning back into it and stretching the quad. Now let's go ahead and try doing the full extension like we did before. We're going to go back and do the other leg, but I just want you to try. You can hop into the swing and slide in, and a lot of people are like, oh sweet, I can still get there, I can still do it if getting the foot up there by yourself is not happening. Okay, so then we're going to transition, go into second side. You can actually just stay holding on here and kick up as well. And come in, otherwise, come around, sit in the swing. It's good to review it again. Now we're going for left foot, right? Your left. I can lean back. Go ahead and from here, keep the left foot in there. Go ahead and remove the right. You can transition down, turn it around, be very careful, always hold on to something. Give it a little hop. Yeah, stand in the center of the mat. We made it. And then see if you can get the upper and lower bodies communicating by keeping your alignment, keeping your pillar, and then extending out to the edges of your bubble, your body of light. See if it feels good to extend the arms and legs. See if it feels good to just stay in a push-up position and just do the legs. And then see if you can do both. I like to hold on to the top of the leg loops or the handholds and pull the knee in. Make sure it's not flaring out to the side. Use the visual reference that we have here with the video. Just so nice, because if you can't see yourself, you're like, oop. That's why I like to give you that cue, some of the cues over and over again. Look up. See if you can keep that dynamic length and tension with the sternum lifting as the tailbone and pubic bone sink back and down. Okay, Go for as many as it feels good for today. Let's do this one more time. You can keep the elbows bent or straighten them. You can come into the push-up position. Try all the different variations because you're going to use different muscle groups. Feel the stretch through the belly here. It's pretty amazing. Just as long as I have my knee straight, just as long as your leg is happy. It can be bent. That's not a problem. Just work at, like I said, the level in which your body is responding. Building strength and stretch together is the best way to do it. And then go ahead and find your wrist wrap. You can hang here and then pick up the standing leg to come into Black Swan. If you want to go a little bit deeper, the bottom of my foot is finding my quad in the middle of my thigh. And we can get a big stretch here, but it's really not about the dynamic movement. I just want to show you all the variations that we can do. Release the foot. Come on back in. So now we're going to go ahead and stay in our standing sequence. I used to teach this by kicking our leg up, and now I'm showing you, in my eyes, a little bit more of an easy restorative fashion of actually coming in and sitting in the swing. And stick around because for the workshop today, we are going to play low since we've had all these fun standing poses, and this is just the inspiration that flowed through. I'm following that impulse. We're going to come back and finish up with some half Buddha today and do some hammock poses, a little bit more core, a little bit more. We're working a little bit more focused with the legs and lower body since yesterday I focused on the upper body and the heart so much that I'm balancing it. So let's go ahead and sit in the swing one more time. And each time we can just do a little bit different, learning all the different variations. Hold on to something. It can be the swing, it can be the leg loops, just hold on. And I'm just pedaling here. So as I pedal, I'm shifting my weight a little bit to the side, and I'm letting the swings deliberately dig into the IT band. This is usually very intense for people, but I'm below the hip joint. I'm working my way down, dropping my hips down, working my way down to the outer knee. And you'll probably feel like, oh yeah, that's really tight, or oh, yeah, it feels pretty good. Wherever you're at is fine. You can adjust the weight, adjust the pressure, and just go as far as you want to go. I can also lean back a little bit more and straighten my arms. That brings the weight into my upper body, not so much my lower body. So if you lean back, it is easier and lighter on the legs. If you really want to dig in, you can really lean more. Slide up and down. Let that feel good. Take your time with it. I love digging in to all the different neuromuscular points. You can feel there's like a point a few inches above the knee. That's very intense. Doing body work for almost 30 years, in addition to all of the teaching physics through play, has helped me recognize how we can do a lot of the self-healing, the self-massage, and working these points, even though I still encourage people to come see me, come see a professional, but you can get your chiropractic care, you can get all your acupressure in, you can get your Rolfing and all your myofascial neuromuscular work. So try going a little bit deeper and twisting all the way now. Stay here if that's enough. You can just lean, right? But if you really want to get into it, do a little bit of twists. The more you hang, the deeper the pressure then. So dig in, get into the legs. See if you can find the happy place, find the sweet spot. So only go as far as it feels good. It needs to be fun. It needs to be something that you enjoy, even if it is that the F-bombs always come out when we stretch the legs. That ripping, burning, tearing sensation is just getting into that fascia that's been cemented, particularly on the outer lines of the legs. The inner lines usually feel much more sensitive, tender, congested. Outer lines feel tight and dry and brittle and hardened like cement. So we want to dig into that and get the flow, get the energy flowing up and down. I go down the outer lines and then up the inner lines is typically how I flow with the yin and yang energy of the body. So that's my leg spiel. I really encourage you to do it every day. It does get easier. It's always intense, but after you get that surface charge released and the muscle and oxygen flow opens up, the energy flows, it feels so much better, and you know the benefit you're getting, which encourages us to do it. So let's go ahead and hold on to our handholds now, because I want to lean back all the way. We are going to do some floating, give the hands a little break if they need. Just come out, take 30 seconds, 5 breaths, reset, and join us again whenever you need to have a break. Slide to the knees. We're going to go ahead and see if we can just push this down to our ankles. If this feels enough for you today, just stay here. So I'm holding on with the wrist wrap so my hands can hang out a little bit longer. Sway from side to side. Enjoy that. Enjoy feeling the energy flow in the body. And then if you can, kick it down to the ankles and try there. It'll be a little bit more weight in your upper body. And then if this is too much, you can always, instead of floating, you can always bring one foot down and be here like we were before, but now we're using the main swing. Same idea with the variations and sequences, just different combinations, which obviously feels different. But yeah, let's switch sides and get the right foot in there, left foot down. So I'm stepping a little bit more towards the back of the mat and keeping my alignment, pillar of light, body of light, family of light, or being, staying in touch with the life force energy, pulsing with the breath. Find the marriage, the mirroring of the breath and the movement. And now what we want to do is we want to start working the lower leg, the lower quad, the lower calf. And then I'm using very gently the pressure of pushing down and rotating my lower leg to dig into the calf muscle. Very, very gently. We're not going to go too far. We're just going to see how it feels to also work the fascia. The calves have a pretty big job holding this up. You can release your hands and just balance here if you want to do that. You can hold on to the top of the leg loops or even the swing. See if you can like hold on to the swing and push it, pull a little and press into it. Press down. Get a little bit more weight there. If you want more weight in your calf, you can obviously do it like this. You can even hook and start to push a little bit more so you can intensify this. Some people have very sensitive calves. After doing so many bodywork sessions, I've noticed that the calves are the culprit for the lower back pain as well as the neck pain. You would be amazed at how much releasing the calves relieves neck pain and neck tension. So it's all connected. The long lines of the back body, all connected, all the way up to the back of the head. So we want to work all this together. So even though we're just doing some fun, simple poses and postures, I like to give you an understanding of how it is all connected, and wringing out the connective tissue with the calves has such a huge impact on the rest of the body. And sometimes we think, oh, the foot is so far away. What does that have to do with my neck? But if you're walking and leaning forward, if your head is protruding forward, then not only are you putting pressure on the C7 joint, but your calves are trying to carry all of your weight, your lower back and your calves. So head up, heart first, keeping the hips and head in alignment is going to relieve a lot of the tensions in the body that we're not even aware of that have to do with our posture and alignment. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So we're gonna hop up. If you need to create a little bit more space, if the leg's not getting in there easily, push it back down to your ankle. Okay, hang here for a little bit and sway. Feel what's happening in your spine, in your hips. This is one of my favorite stretches. It's so fun. I only float when I'm holding on to the handholds, so you have a little bit more support. Step back towards the back of the mat and just take a moment to sway. You can release your hands, give them a little break, find your balance. If you're feeling extra wobbly, hold on to something. So the beauty of doing all the standing poses with the swing is you don't have to fall over a bunch of times. You can really let yourself be held. You can be enjoying the stability and the support, It's very symbolic of our lives. It helps the nervous system relax, then we're not so tense in some of these poses. I know in standing poses, people can really tighten and tense up, but this way we feel like, oh, we got an extra buddy, got an extra hand holding us up here. And we're gonna dig into the calves. Again, utilizing the fabric to push and pull in the space and work out the connective tissue. I'm not necessarily trying to dig deep into the muscle. I'm first working with the interface of the skin and the muscle and all of the connection that happens there. I know for me, I've always had super tight calves, and that led to my knee injuries. So I'm very aware of not only the quads, which is the other major culprit, but the calves and how they affect lower back pain and knee pain. So when people come in and they ask me to just only work on their back, I let them know that the energy lines run vertical in the body, and we have so much to learn from Eastern philosophies of healing about the energy system and integrate that with the physical body. We want to have both, not one or the other. So everything that we can learn from Chinese medicine and yoga and all the other wisdom tools from the Eastern traditions. I particularly love the Japanese and Thai styles. I call my practice Zen healing, at least the original OG practice. Now it's morphed into quantum healing because I integrate all of the quantum physics into the healing arts with the electromagnetics and different technologies, as well as working with the mind, body, being interface, that complex together. So we want to know the impact and the effect of our mind on our body, which we all know. Stress is a state, it is a thought or an experience of bracing against the unwanted, and that thought creates a contraction in our nervous system, which translates to the overstimulation of the muscles, and then that constant state of contraction becomes a habit. And then our bodies don't feel good. It's giving us feedback that we're pinched off. And so we need to understand that it's not just exercise, it's what we're thinking, what we're doing, how we're feeling, and how to work with changing state. So when we open up the body, it gives us relief. And then if we go right back into the same thought patterns and the same state, and then the tension will come right back. So after doing this, like I said, for 30 years, I was like, okay, I just did all this amazing work. Somebody had tremendous healing, tremendous relief, and then they're like, oh, it came back. It either came back in a couple days or a couple weeks, and I'm like, okay, we have to map out our habits. We have to understand, what are we eating, what are we thinking, what are we doing that is creating that tension to come back? Because once we understand and feel that the body does heal, then we have an opportunity to mimic that new frequency and that new state. If it didn't change, then we would feel hopeless, like, oh, there's nothing I can do. But when it does change, but then it comes back, that's feedback that something we're doing, either through habit or through thought, or all of the above, is creating it, is creating the tension or creating the ailment and illness. So we want to work with that information and start shifting not only our mindset, but shifting our habits, not only our physical alignment, but our mental and emotional alignment. And then we'll see how the body responds to that. The body is just a feedback loop. It's just a communication device, indication of alignment. When we're not aligned, we feel it. We get an immediate alarm system that goes off and tells us we're off. So if you want to go deeper into the calves one last time, I'm going to go ahead and get the swing positioned right below the calf muscle, and then I can hook. And as I hook, I can push down stronger and roll back and forth. And for me, I love digging into the calves. So if your calves are not sensitive, or if they are, just back off so that you can kind of like enjoy the process. But just go ahead and dig in as far as it feels good for today and wring out that tension that's living in the legs. And we'll just notice how different it is when we open up the connective tissue before we go into our standing sequence. We are going to practice for another half hour. And then, well, probably 20 minutes, and then I'll give you a nice Shavasana, 10-minute Shavasana before we move into today's workshop series. So stick with it, 20 more minutes, make some variations. Again, if you want to break, it's no problem. Just come here and hang out and be like, I'm good. I don't need to do another round. I feel like I just want to like absorb and receive the integration. That was enough. But if you feel ready, we're going to go back and do both sides again with some leg stretches and variations. And this is all part of the basic training. Really, these are the additions that I've added to the AYRx Therapeutix. So I have a couple different manuals that you can get a copy of. You can go to my website and check that out. It's either jenhealy.org or AYRx.com. They all lead to the same place. But yeah, I have a couple different manuals if you want to learn all of the sequences. Like I said, there's over 300 different poses and sequences, and I cover them in the intermediate and advanced trainings, as well as the other modules and modalities. So we're going to go ahead and return the swing to the ankles. I'm doing this by doing the swaying. Every transition is part of the pose. Make sure your hands are happy. We'll give them a break in just a moment. But now I'm working the calves all the way down, nice and slow, spinning it out, spinning it all around. They should start to feel different. All the calf cramps people get are because the energy can't flow. It gets tight all the way down towards the bottom. And now that we've stretched out the legs, we've stretched out the connective tissue, then we can go into some of the variations. Again, give your hands a break. You can push forward and back without holding on, but I do recommend holding on to something. There's no reason to create that kind of imbalance in the body if we can just hold on and give it a little extra support. You can hold on to the bottom of the leg loops, and that's engaging the upper body in a different way. You can hold on to the actual swing and go a little bit deeper, pulling all the way back and pushing all the way forward. That's a little bit more of a dynamic version. You can hold on to the handholds and just do a little rocking, whatever feels good. Just allow yourself to be here for a few minutes, rocking back and forth. Feel your pillar. Feel the vertical alignment of your spine and then your leg coming out directly horizontal to that pillar. So notice that it's easy to round in some of these poses and stay arched behind the heart, pushing the back of the head into an invisible wall to get that extra support. And then we're all going to bend our knee, push forward even more, coming into a forward lunge. And when we're doing this, I'm using the swing to help lift my chest. And notice that it's easy to round in, but we deepen in this stretch. We're obviously focusing on hip flexors and quads and belly today. And we have to get that lower body open so it's in communication with the upper body. So watch yesterday's series, review it to get the heart opening and all the upper body goodness that we've been doing. Okay, so we're gonna turn our toes out to the left and come into a side lunge. So the side angle lunge, I want to get my body in one plane. So I'm pushing my knee forward and my hip back. And then I'm going to just lean. My elbow can be on my thigh above my knee. And then I'm using the swing to lean into it. Just let that feel good. Maybe that's enough. Feel the diagonal from your fingertips to toes. And stretch even more. Create a big rainbow and then arch back. So even here, it's easy to dive in and collapse the front of the spine. So keep that alignment, keep that openness. We're really working with like not only the pillar, but getting this more spin and spiral going up the spine. If you have a little bit more flexibility, you can straighten the leg and reach for the foot and have it be more dynamic. You can hold on to the swing. I like thumb up so we can keep that external rotation, but you can hold on to the top of the swing or even grab for the handhold. Go as far as it feels good. Come on back. Transition nice and slow. Point the toes forward. Let's transition in the air. One way or another, we're going to go to second side. So you can swing and kick up and go from here. You can transition to the ankle first to make it easier for you. But go ahead and wind up with your left leg in the swing and your right foot at the back of the mat. And start out pushing and pulling forward and back. Find your breath, take a pause. Feel the alignment first. Feel what's happening in your hip flexors and quads after we did that incredible work, that it actually is easier to do these stretches now, more so than if we didn't warm it up. And that's the experience I want to give you today, is understanding the communication between the skin, the muscles, the bones that sheath over the body. What happens when we really open up the field, that body of light, that field around the body, the communication that's happening through the nervous system. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, push forward, holding on to the swing, and pull back. Lift with the chest, arch as you push forward. Keep the chest lifted. Exhale, pull back. So we want to make sure that we're balancing the curling in that everybody is doing all day long. We balance that with the lift and the arch. So sometimes we can just go back and forth and curl in, drop your forehead to your knee, and then pull and arch and lift, and then feel the difference of dropping with your chest, right? So it's a different stretch. They're both great. They're just very different on the body. Just feel the difference of arching first and then bending. Maybe don't go as far. That's okay. Don't push past that natural end point, that edge, and just play with it. You know, do some breaths, do some pulsations, do some rhythm waves of coming in and then going back out, inhaling up and exhaling, rolling back down. I have found that the pulsation and the movement opens the body way more than forcing or pushing or holding. So find that edge and play with it. It's really good, really important. Bend the knee of the left leg. Toes are still pointing forward for a forward lunge. And do the same thing where you can really lift the upper body. Feel the outer heel pushing down, even though it's not touching. If we're on our toes, if we're on the ball of the foot, it's not touching, but we're still creating that length. Pushing the quad back into the hamstring to get that length. These little tiny adjustments and micro movements change the pose dramatically. And notice that we're keeping the balance. We're keeping the balance between the left and right side. And then maybe you want to go ahead and extend. Some people are a little bit more flexy, and they can get the full experience of the stretch just by extending and grabbing for the toe. And then go ahead and roll the back heel down. I'm pointing my toes to the right, and then I'm finding my side plane, my side lunge. These are kind of like yoga translations that I teach in the basic training, but we're adding a lot more into it today. We're going to go ahead and roll back and support our body with the swing, with the left side of the leg loop. You can push your head into it and see how that lifts your chest as well. If you want to hold on, go ahead and hold on wherever you can reach. Sometimes I'll hold on to the handhold and really let my body pull up, and sometimes I'll just extend, and it's like I'm touching, but I'm not actually utilizing it besides stability. Straighten the left leg if you can and grab for the foot. Open it up. Go as far as it feels good. Feel the big arch, like your body, your torso is a rainbow, and then lift up and out from the back edge of the foot to your fingertips. Lift and lengthen. Feel the space opening as you're leaning back, and that's the spiral. That's getting into more of a spiral than just a side body, side angle. All right, come on back. You're doing great. Just a few more minutes here. Push forward and back, even it out. Go ahead and push it back down to the ankle. One more time. Let's go ahead and float and play. So you can keep one foot on the floor, you can keep the knee bent, you can keep both feet up. Just take a few minutes, 30 seconds, and just roll around and see how that feels. If you bring the swing to the knees, it's a little less weight. If you bring the swing all the way up to your hips, it's even more supportive. So where do you want to go? Do you want to do a little bit more fascia work? Do you want to dig in? Do you just want to come to stand? Wherever you are, we're all gonna meet here and wind up back in our sumo. Swing behind the heart. Continuing on with the half Buddha sequence, a few more things I wanted to share with you, which I call hammock pose, and this is gonna be our restorative sequence today, where we spread the leg loop out and get that on. Even when we're doing restorative, I still do the strengthening and core. You can just do it slower. You can just back off and do the easier version. So sometimes when I do restorative, it means like still, and just kind of holding things for longer. And other times I mean restorative, I mean the mindset and the way that you're approaching it. Approach it with more ease. Approach it with just relaxing into it and not worrying so much or making the intentionality like a strong workout or a lot of strength. So we can do the same poses and get medium strength. It just depends on what you're going for. If we want to do short bursts, then we can do dynamic. If we want to do longer sessions, then we do flow. That way the body doesn't get fatigued. We're not trying to fatigue the body as much as we are trying to restore and recharge and rejuvenate it. That's what I like to do with the Regenerative Therapeutix. So lots of hanging and chilling in between, telling you stories, talking about what's important here. So let's go ahead and use the right leg loop, spread out. Somehow get the foot in there, sit in the swing again if you need to, and just lean back, take a moment. So a lot of lubrication, movement of the spine. I want you to feel this rhythm wave, the S curve, the S shape from side to side, all the way up, not just the leg, but let your upper body be like a weeping willow, where it's also wiggling and waving and finding its connection. So we can just isolate the leg by itself, very different, and then we can start to connect. The whole body gets into the rhythm wave, and feel that. Feel how different that is. Feel how good it feels. Everything working together, everything responding, everything connected. Every time the lower body moves, the upper body, like a flag, comes along. Because it is. It's all connected. We don't want to get pinched off or cut off where the lower body and upper body are no longer communicating. Okay, so when we want to kick up into hammock pose, we just lift our left leg and cross the ankles and just chill. You can do this with the swing spread out as well, if you want to have less pressure on the point behind the back of the heart. And if you like it, you can have more pressure by pushing up, pushing your hips up and dropping down. So stay here in hammock pose if you feel like you want to just rest. If anybody feels like doing some more strength, we're going to pull the left foot back out, bring the knee down to the center of the mat, and then we're going to inhale here, exhale, go ahead and squeeze and engage through the core. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, squeeze, pull the knee up to the sternum. Inhale and exhale. Just go nice and slow. Inhale. It's actually harder to do it slower. Exhale, hold and squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale. The next one we're going to lean back. We're going to lean back and we can hook the foot. So a lot of times people will find their foot touching the leg loop instead, and that's fine. If you're a little bit more elongated, hook your heel on the actual swing. Stay here if you just want to chillax and hang out, but if you want to do some leg lifts, you can lift from a plank, and you can also toe touch. So this is the plank toe touch series. You can bring knee to elbow and just go that far, or I like to hold on to the swing with my left hand and touch. So my right hand extends opposite direction. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, plank toe touches. So go as far as it feels good today. Build up to it. Maybe you just start out here with the leg lifts, and then every time you come back in and you do a few more. And then when you're ready, just rest. Come on back in, either hammock pose or hook. It's called a hook, where we bring our leg all the way up. And this is a much more advanced version, so only do it if it actually feels good, where you can relax into it. Drop your hips. Keep the heart open, relax the head back. Find your pillar even here. and stay in hammock if you're happy, and just chill it. If anybody wants to try the big dynamic twist, we're gonna make an L shape with the legs, and then we can hold on to the ankle or toes and twist open. Extended leg twist. Twisting the spine. You can also just lean back and support your head with your hand if you want or need. Go ahead and land in hammock with me. Go ahead, hold on to the swing. Everybody lean back. It's like a ladle pose found its way into our hammock. Just take a moment to enjoy a back bend, head inversion, half inversion, and bicep, come on up. Let's do second side. This side, I am going to go ahead and get the leg loop on first. Okay, so now we're moving and transitioning through our floating Buddha. Then I take the right one off, and I'm going to come to stand. In case you guys were like, well, how do I spread out the swing? You can wrestle with it a little while you're hanging, but if you just get in here and then get your arms out, then you can come into your hammock pose like this. If, of course, if you're like, wait a second, I'll just do my exercises like this, then fantastic. Enjoy just leaning back and having a little bit more of a deeply restful restorative version. And whatever you want to do, you know, lift the leg up, lower it down, whatever you want to do. So typically what I'll do is you can do a medium version where it's kind of spread out across the whole upper back and support the head with the hands, and then you can do your versions from here as well. So knee to elbow or toe touch. Do your core activations one way or another, having a little bit more support. You can see if it's covering more of the torso, more of the surface area, then it's not digging into just one point or spot. It's more of a diffused hang. You can even hook here and just sway, which feels really good. Try all the different variations. The plank toe touches are my favorite. I love those. They're very good for creating more of the engagement. And when I do the Contour and Firm series, I do a lot of the Pilates variations in the swing, which is really cool. And at the same time, you can just do the same pose and have it be super chill. So go ahead and everyone hook across both ankles and just feel your hammock. Lean back into it. I also do a version where we support the head with the neck, but we're gonna skip that for today. If you go and look up the hammock pose and hammock series, then you'll see that variation. Today we're just using our chillaxing arms and leaning back, which feels so good. Last pose, if you want to try it, is to come into the extended leg twist. So I lift my leg towards the sky. That space in between the swing and the leg loop, I'm going to rotate, keeping my legs in an L shape, and then I can hold on to the ankle, the foot, the calf, the knee, wherever I can reach. And I can extend both arms. I can support my head with my hand. I can hold on to the swing and go a little bit deeper. See where your body is today. But most importantly, keep the alignment. Keep the alignment. Let's all end here with our legs in the extended hammock pose, and then try a little back bend. Yay. So we don't have to come into a full back bend to get the benefit of it. Obviously, coming into a full inversion is the best, but you can actually just enjoy a half inversion and release back into a supported back bend. Let the swing slide down towards the hips more, to come more inverted. You can stay up high by dropping your hips and just lean back a little, or you can go all the way, pushing your hips up and leaning back to come into more of a ladle pose. You can release your arms out to the side or overhead. So good. Reach up, grab for the swing, pull yourself up to sit. Amazing, amazing job today. We're going to go ahead and just release and come out for a moment. Before we get into Shavasana, go ahead and release the leg loop, come to stand, walk back, come out nice and slow, have a sip of water. I'm going to talk to you in our Shavasana about the benefits of cocooning, the world-class favorite pose for those that have been here for the last few days. It's always good to hear it again. It never gets old to understand how important it is to not only have this pressure or this hugging on the surface of the skin to reset the nervous system, but the concept and the experience of rocking and how that relieves and soothes so much tension, since we associate being rocked, if all went well in our childhood, we associate as infants being rocked to be coddled and cradled and held, and we don't get that experience as adults. So it's one of my favorite poses. And then when I do one-on-one work, I do all kinds of body work, yoga massage in the swing while you're in cocoon, which is amazing. So you can find me either in the Bay Area or Maui. Come and visit. I love my Maui retreat home. It's perfect for doing the one-on-one work and then deep dives and more of the quantum coaching and just the whole thing. Adventures, it's amazing. But you can also come and get a one-on-one session with me in the Bay Area, in Marin. If you happen to be in the area, please do look me up. Very good. So yeah, we made it. We made it to the end. Thank you for joining. Stick around, we'll have a little break, but then we're gonna dive in for the workshop series, and I'm gonna bring the swing down to the floor and work with the Suspended Somatics therapy this afternoon. And you know, this was because the legs and hips are so intense for people, it could feel like a stronger practice than a restorative practice. So I will do my best this afternoon to actually make it more restorative and more yummy and juicy and relaxing. But now let's go ahead and find our cocoon. You're going to get a big handful, stretch it all the way to the knees, and then make sure you have enough material so it goes over the back of the head too. These swings are so soft and just so yummy. Just FYI, if somebody needs a swing, either a second swing or want a swing for a friend or client, I'm offering the swing training combination for $300 off, which is a huge savings and discount. So please do take advantage of that. You can find that on the website. I can send you a link if you give me a little shout and ask me about it. I would love to get you in the swing. It's just for this series, it's just for this weekend. So please do take advantage of that and enjoy the extra discount if you've been wanting another swing or if you're just ready to get a swing at home. Highly recommend it. Let's go ahead and just extend our legs for today. You can stay in the cocoon or you can actually spread out, and each time I do it a little bit different. If you like draining the excess energy out of the lower body, you can come up into Viparita where your legs are straight and out into a V, hooking the fabric and staying like that. Both are good. I like doing the leg loops extended today, so let's just go with that cocoon, extended leg. Get comfy, give yourself a big hug. You can kind of wrap in and curl into a little ball, bringing the energy back to your center. You can also keep some of this length and space by extending your arms overhead and bending the elbows so that your fingertips are dangling towards the floor behind you. Wherever you are, get comfy. Wiggle around, let it go. Give yourself a big hug and send a wave of gratitude over your entire being for showing up. The willingness to explore and experience, this is really one of the most important things that we can do, is play and experience the body in a new way. Let the body lead, leading with our bodies, leading with what we need. It is so crucial for our well-being, our mental and emotional well-being, our physical well-being, our spiritual well-being. So important. our well-beingness, is our connection to our being. Nice deep breaths, relieving any last bits of tension, maybe wiggling the hips around, letting the belly soften, heart open, head relaxed. Let your brain soften, let your eyes sink back, let the breath go. You'll notice that the breath, thankfully, will breathe you. That is your being, that is your life force. The same life force that pumps the blood around, that circulates, that communicates to every cell. This is your being. This happens for you. It is the gift that comes with this body, your heart pumping. It all happens for you. The body heals. We just learn how to work with it and how to get out of the way and how to flow with the energy. The energy will flow when we work with it. When we understand the body matrix, when we get in tune with the electromagnetic field, and the way energy works, it's so important to understand that we are more than just physical. We have an energy body. We have a being. We are life force that is the same molecules, made up of the same molecules that pulses through all things, the same life force that moves the ocean, that radiates the sun, that waves the trees. We are that. So feel like you can drop into it, like you are in your own little bubble, your own little droplet of water, but you can feel yourself as part of this huge sea of energy. Let it feel good to go back into that ocean, consciousness in motion. It's so sweet to feel that you're part of it. It pulses through you. It's in the air. You breathe it in and you breathe it out. Like a fish in water. That's how we are in the field. Feel the field. Feel the air around you. Feel the medium in which we navigate. Feel the relationship to air while we float in a new way as you gently sway and rock and become part of that ocean. Let it feel good to be held, to be cradled, to be rocked, to be hugged. To fully let go and relax, maybe for the first time ever. Really let it go, really drop in, really allow yourself to sink. You're gonna have 5 long, luxurious minutes to just rest. Let yourself be refreshed. Rebooting your computer, upgrading the software. Your body being the most intelligent, advanced technology on the planet for you to work with, for you to understand, for you to operate. Feel yourself being transformed, rearranged, healed in your cocoon. Stay as long as you wish. Give yourself a nice break, and we'll meet you back here in about 15 minutes. Take 5 more minutes in the swing and then 10 minutes to have a little bio break. Whatever you need to prepare for our workshop series today. Namaste.